got a nice long runway there to do a top speed run. All right, off the clutch, full throttle. Your distant cousin of the Mura, go, go, go! We're hauling. Hang on, my diesel's shutting off here.
What?
Hello, wizard.
You know, on the phone you told me you bought a Lambo. This is not what I had in mind.
Well, what'd you expect? It's a $3,000 Lamborghini.
$3,000?
$3,000, yes. Welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube. And this is, well, my latest purchase. And don't judge a book by its cover here, because this is actually a Lamborghini. Now, I need a tractor for my farm, obviously, where I farm absolutely nothing, but I do want to start doing some farming. I've already got the farm truck, a beautiful 1972 Ford, and now my tractor has arrived. And yes, this was the cheapest Lamborghini on four wheels that ran and drove in the USA. For $3,500, I bought a 1969 Lamborghini R230DT right here. Two-cylinder diesel, a little over 30 horsepower, all-wheel drive, but an old tractor. Now, a lot of people don't know that Lamborghini started life as a company making tractors, and it's a pretty amazing story how they came about making the supercars we all know today. Ferruccio Lamborghini, an amazing engineer, had a very successful tractor company. He built the most beautiful tractors in all of Italy, but he didn't build cars. So when he was successful, he wanted to get the best car made in Italy, and that was a Ferrari at the time. But being an engineering-minded man, he did notice some issues with it that he thought Enzo Ferrari would like to hear about and make some improvements. So he drove over to the next town where Enzo lived, knocked on his door, and thought he could give a little constructive criticism, which Enzo, being a notorious hothead, did not receive very well. It was a very short conversation where he said, I'll stick to building cars and you stick to building tractors, and basically slammed the door in his face. So Ferruccio Lamborghini was so angry, he drove home and vowed to build a car himself. And he was able to do it pretty quickly because Enzo had recently fired 5 engineers and construction guys on his factory floor who were complaining about his wife being so involved with the company and meddling in their stuff. So they had a car factory sort of already going that Mr. Lamborghini got into, and they put a car out very quickly. But they really sent Ferrari back on their heels a few years later when they unveiled the amazing Mura, a mid-engine supercar, well, basically the birth of the supercar that's worth multi-millions of dollars today. But at the same time, they were also building this 1969 Lamborghini tractor right here. Now, there's not too many of these vintage Lamborghini tractors still in existence, let alone in the United States. Most were sold in Italy, used in vineyards to plant vines and grapes and make it into fine wine. So when this one popped up, well, actually, a viewer emailed me saying they had this. Of course, I had to buy it. And for only $3,500, it is for sure the cheapest running and driving Lamborghini in the USA right here. And it is a vintage Lamborghini. So now I have my Countach, the car that followed the Mura, and this. I am a multi-Lamborghini man again, and I couldn't be more proud. Obviously, it's a little rough around the edges, a lot rough around the edges, but it does run and drive, but it's not ready to do any real tractoring work yet. But before we have the drive, let's go on a little tour of the cheapest Lamborghini in the USA. In addition to the tour, I had this tractor dropped off at the Car Wizard so we can have him inspect my latest Lamborghini purchase. He loves Lamborghinis. He has some tractors out here, so he may like it. Also, I believe my 1972 Ford is finished, so I can pick that up, take it home, pay the bill. The Wizard will want that. And then I can show you all the latest stuff going on at the farm, including my latest building updates. I've chosen the size and construction has begun, and it'll be a wonderful place to store this 1969 Lamborghini. Now, even though this was a tractor, they were still very proud to put Lamborghini logos everywhere on this thing. You can see one big one there, another one, F Lamborghini here with the serial numbers, but it is a very rough around the edges tractor. Now, the previous owner said this thing had been sitting for a long time before he bought it. All he did was just barely get it running, just as sort of a gag, and then he did sell it to me. But it does have the PTO on the back where you could hook up implements and pull things around for mowing or for planting, say if you're wanting to plant some vines and have your own little vineyard. But it is more or less a car-sized tractor. It is not absolutely massive, so shipping it wasn't too bad to get it from Oregon to here. But another unique feature to this tractor is its four-wheel drive, or full-time all-wheel drive. So you have the rear power there, but you also have this front assist here, the front drive shaft, a front axle, to where I have an all-wheel drive Lamborghini, which this predates all-wheel drive Lamborghini cars by a good long while. I guess the Diablo VT in the mid-90s. This is decades ahead of that. You can see the counterweights here in the front, so if you put something heavy on the back, it doesn't tip backwards. But overall, I barely know how to work this thing or how it works. It is a diesel engine under there, much like a car. The left side, this is the clutch. The right side is the brakes. This is the gear selector, and I think these are the things that make it go into like low and high gears. I'm really not that sure. But you actually do have a bit of a gauge cluster right here, and it is all very Italian, almost race car looking. This one, the tachometer here, 500 RPM, 2000 RPM. Right below it, I guess, is peak power, which is why they have these gauges here. It does look really cool. Oil pressure gauge, and then this is the hand throttle right here, which that makes it go. That's the starter, and a key. It does have a key to turn it on. Now, some of this stuff doesn't work. It has no brakes. It doesn't run very well, and starting it is quite a procedure, but it is a Lamborghini. Now, when this Lamborghini was delivered, it was delivered in pieces. The transport driver handed us this, so that should not be detached like that. A lot of rust, as you can see, but when you pop it, well, there's a 2-cylinder diesel under there, and this is corroded. But thankfully, Harlan did give me some instructions to start it and drive it to where I can barely move this thing around. I barely know how to work it, but why don't we do that right now? All right, instructions say tractor in neutral, which it is. Oh, that was not, I don't know what I just did. Okay, that's neutral, I think. All right, hand throttle all the way off, then pull it forward about 1 inch. Hand over the intake hole, rust hole, which I guess makes it sort of choke somewhat. And then I believe I can turn it on, push and hold the starter. I'm tractoring. How about that? Now it's a little bit smoky and a little bit uneven, but it does drive. Let's go. All right, let me perch myself on my throne here. And I believe the right one's the one I want. I put it up. Clutch in. You put the clutch in, you genius. Okay. And forward. Okay. Hand throttle. Doesn't appear my tachometer is working. Here we go. I'm driving a $3,000 Lamborghini, and I don't want to wreck it into the Wizards' beautiful Bluebird water lodge here. But you know, she runs, she drives, no brakes. So if I want to stop, I put the clutch in, and then I hope. I mean, eventually inertia just sort of stops it, because the brakes don't do much of anything, unfortunately. So that's kind of important. I'm going to turn it around here, and we can go for some speed, huh? We got a nice long runway there to do a top speed run. All right. Off the clutch. Full throttle. Your distant cousin and you're a go, go, go! We're hauling. That's pretty fast. All right, slow down, slow down. Whoa, oh, brakes. I mean, the brakes sort of do something. Oh, I almost stalled it out. So it does run and drive-ish. I mean, obviously, it smokes so much and it goes right in your face there that something definitely isn't right with this thing. Probably down a cylinder, I'm not sure. I know the Car Wizard has a lot of tractor experts here in-house, so I think they've looked it over a little bit before I got here. So We'll see what they have to say. Wizard! Oh, I gotta shut it off. Pull this. Hang on, my diesel's shutting off here.
What?
Hello, Wizard.
You know, on the phone you told me you bought a Lambo. This is not what I had in mind.
Well, what'd you expect? It's a $3,000 Lamborghini.
$3,000?
$3,000, yes. Now, you guys took delivery of it for me.
Yes.
And you have a lot of tractor experts here, but I wanted you to do the full Wizard inspection on it.
No. That's not my game. I don't mess with tractors.
But you have like 20, 30 tractors out there.
Crazy D has 20 or 30 tractors out there.
Oh. Well, I did notice some similarity, Wizard. Like Mercedes diesels have the same Bosch mechanical fuel injection and that little primer pump there.
Yeah.
Exactly the same as the Mercedes 300D, where you replace the fuel filter, you have to prime it with that. But they break, and if they break and suck air in, then you have to put a condom on it to like keep the air from coming in.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Actually, you roll a condom on it and it keeps the air from
Yes, well, and Crazy D.
Do you know what you got here?
A 1969 Lamborghini tractor.
Yeah. So this is you know, it's an R230.
Yes.
Built from 66 to 69.
So Big Dave just sort of barged in here, but he works in your front office.
Yes.
He is the biggest tractor enthusiast ever. He has a YouTube channel, Crazy D's tractor channel, tractor guy.
Crazy D's equipment.
Oh, there you go.
Crazy D's equipment. Yeah. So tractors and equipment and abandoned farmsteads and auctions, and this is my world, man.
Yeah, anytime there's a Car Wizard video, or even in your videos, you guys see tractors and all that, that's all Crazy D. That's not Car Wizard.
I see.
Because these are like extremely super rare in the States. I mean, and Lamborghini, you know, they never sold tractors in the United States. So any tractor that's come over here has been brought over by collectors or by people like that. So this is really unusual and really rare to have a Lamborghini in the States.
Let alone probably a hoopty version of it.
Well,
I've seen a few sell and bring a trailer, and they're orange and blue, and they bring like 20, 30 grand.
Crazy car collector guys, they like having that Lambo tractor in the collection, or the Porsche tractor in the collection, because it just is something a little odd. So yeah, and these things are so cool. They're nothing like an American tractor.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want this to just sit. I want to use it. Like, I thought this was really neat that it had the patina, and it's really pretty beefy, actually. So is this cast iron?
Cast iron fenders.
So I want to use it, but it seems a little sick.
It is a little sick.
And you don't want to inspect it.
No. It's kind of like a lot of the other Lambos that come in the shop. It's,
And you're not going to fix it.
I'm not going to work on it, no. I'll just let Crazy D take it from here, and I'm going to go back over here and do what I was doing.
All right. Well, I know there's a car that's done, right? My Ford pickup?
Yes, it is ready to go.
Okay. When it comes time to bill collect, he'll definitely get involved.
Oh, yeah. I'll be listening.
All right. So you've already had a chance to look this over.
Yeah.
And I did notice it smokes a lot. It's running unevenly.
So
do I have a dead cylinder? Is that what's...
So all that white smoke you're seeing, that is unburnt diesel. So you got a dead injector, or we got a dead cylinder, one or the other. So if you notice this cylinder here, the oil buildup on it, that means this cylinder isn't heating up. If you kind of feel it's warm a little bit, but it's not like the other one. So
that would be burning off. It was up to temperature.
Should be burning off. So for some reason this cylinder is not working. So out of 2, you got 1 cylinder. So out of your 37 horses, you're probably 17. So
it still went down the road pretty good.
Yeah.
The brakes almost non-existent.
Yeah, it has a drum brake in the axle, so that's going to be an interesting repair on that. There's some other things I found, like the starter likes to lock up on you, and you know she's got a few issues. It's a very tired Italian donkey. Yeah, so this old girl's done some work.
So I understood forward and reverse.
Yeah, so forward and reverse.
I have a hand throttle. I understood that.
Right.
And what does this do?
So that was a foot throttle.
Okay.
But the cable's stretched and it don't work.
Ah, all right. So brake, obviously, clutch, I got that right. But what do these two do?
Okay, so this is your PTO.
Okay.
This engages your PTO. And this is your high-low. So back here, this is high. That's why you were zipping around everywhere.
Okay, right.
And then that is low.
All right.
So you would move at a much lower rate.
I see. So like a transfer case, high range and low range. All right.
So,
And the PTO is what's on the back. That's what
PTOs
will
on
run the
back. You need that for
implements.
running your mowers and stuff.
But
so.
this should go up and down, and
Yeah.
I don't think it does the up and down, right?
Yeah, so your 3-point is not working on it. We couldn't get it to operate. And over here on this side is the pump for it. This is your pump. You can feel pressure in the lines, but nothing happens back there. So it's the valves or something more internal. And we're not for sure what yet. We won't know until we tear into it.
So the tractor was $3,500. Do you think it was money well spent?
$3,500 for a Lamborghini tractor. I think you at $3,500 for a non-running one, you did good. Out of curiosity, I decided to look up and see if we could find parts for you for this thing, so we could know what we're doing. And I spent 3 days on the computer and came up very empty-handed. My brother, the tractor doctor, he can do all the work. The work on this is not going to be hard at all. It's just finding the parts he needs to do the work.
That sounds like a normal old Lamborghini issue, like you're a Countach or whatever. So I'm not used to that, but obviously a little daunting. So
It's going to be fun.
hopefully we can get this to work, and then I could maybe plant a vineyard or something, right?
Yeah, it's a vineyard tractor. This was made for up and down the hills in Italy, all that fine stuff.
Fancy. So you're going to do a much deeper dive mechanically on this tractor on your channel. I'll put a link below so you can check it out if you want a lot more in-depth mechanical tractor content. I'll check in every once in a while on the progress and such. But now I need to pick up my finished 72 Ford pickup truck from the Car Wizard and then head back down to the farm. I'll show you everything that's going on there. Are you sure you don't want to get in on the tractor fun there, Wizard?
I am very, very sure. But what I do want to get in on is getting this bill paid on the truck.
Oh, okay. I do see you pulled it outside for me. She's just so pretty.
Are you going to put a bunch of money into that tractor? Like, just get it fixed right? And...
I want it to work. I want to plant a vineyard or something. I don't
Plant
know.
a vineyard?
Will you drink the wine if I grow the wine?
I would taste it, yes. I'll go wine tasting with you.
Thank you very, very much. So the Ford was pretty well running and driving when it got here. Just a lot of neglect from sitting. Oh, $1,800.
$1,800.
All right. Well, that's a lot for an old cheap truck, but now it's completely sorted out.
It is. It's ready to go.
It is so cool. All right. Well, I'll cruise back to the farm and show people the progress there and where I think I should plant my vineyard or something. What would you plant?
Well, I won't say. It might be illegal. But isn't that just like Hoovie's Garage? You bought a Lambo and it's broken.
Mm-hmm. Ah, there she is. For those of you that haven't seen this video, this is my 1972 Ford F-250 Camper Special with the 390 under the hood. Mostly original and unmolested. All the options, Ranger XLT. This was basically the range-topping, nicest luxury truck you could get in 1972. And with as expensive as trucks are nowadays, I thought this was a great alternative. I bought it for $12,000. Now, another $2,000 into it to have it completely sorted and a nice long bed to haul whatever I want. And I'm really looking forward to using this thing around the farm or just cruising around. These are such great values when it comes to collector vehicles because it has that old school charm. I mean, look at the seats, the pattern, and all of this. Lower price, but a lot more utility and comfort. So I'm very happy with this truck, assuming the Wizard has completely sorted it out, which I'm sure he has. So let's hit the road. Oh, that is much better with the tune-up. It was running pretty good before, but now, oh, that's great. Nice and smooth. The 390 does have plenty of power. It goes 70 on the highway without feeling like it's getting worked out all that much. And everything's working. Cold air. The AM radio always worked. Classic Country is sort of stuck on that, obviously. But one thing I didn't point out in the last video, the oil change stickers up here. Look at this. This is how somebody kept track of oil changes in the 80s and 90s up here. 58,000 miles in 1992, 64,000 miles in 95. So it's a gently used truck. It's showing 95,000 miles on it now. I don't think it's rolled over quite yet. So she should last a good long while and be very handy for me on the farm, which is where we're going to right now. And you'll be able to see the beginnings of Hoovie's Garage 3.0 and where I'm thinking I might have a farm. Well, awesome job, Wizard. As usual, in this truck back in the barn, it looks like it belongs here, like it's been here its entire life in a barn that was built in the 1940s. Now, obviously, this isn't a very good spot for Hoovie's Garage 3.0. It's just a cool old barn. But back here, we have a brand new, fresh concrete pad for the new garage. So fresh, I can't even really walk on this part because it's drainage here. They had to add this to give me proper drainage. Otherwise, the existing concrete pad would have run into the new 60 feet by 100 feet Hoovie's Garage. So when I was doing that video with the 3 choices, I picked the middle of the road, the 6,000 square foot building for 2 reasons. Number 1, it was a lot cheaper. Number 2, I did not have the width that I thought. The county did not want me to build past my existing barn here. See, I originally wanted to be out a little bit more and have the first garage door, which is this right there, so it's sort of a straight shot from the entrance, but that didn't happen. Still, I had plenty of room to do it, and obviously 6,000 square feet, 60 by 100 is a lot. Now, it's 6 inches thick, so I can do plenty of lifts if I want, and it's insulated on the footings there to keep things climate controlled because the building will be fully insulated, heated, and air conditioned. And the footings here to bolt into the big beams that will be coming in, they are put into the concrete. But as far as farmland, well, I have plenty of it back here, starting with where the BMW X6, not an M, is buried behind this clump right here. I have plenty of acreage to plant whatever I want right by the cornfield. So what should I grow back here whenever my Lamborghini tractor is ready to plow and seed and do whatever? I'm thinking a vineyard would be nice, but maybe bottle a bit and give it to friends, so that's pretty ambitious. We could do sunflowers, the official Kansas flower. We could do a lot of different things. Pumpkins, I'm not sure, but let me know what you think I should plant, not what the wizard said, in the comment section, and what you think of my Lamborghini tractor. Be sure to like this video if you want to see more farm and tractor content, and as always, thank you so much for watching.